Terence Crawford. Everyone trying to figure out what he's going to do next. We don't know. But there's one name that keeps getting thrown around. And no, I'm not talking about Janibek Alam-Kanuli, Erislandy Lara. If Earl Spence returned and got a good win, I'm sure Earl Spence's name would be thrown around, especially if he publicly called out Terence Crawford. But there's one name that keeps getting thrown out there, and it's David Benavidez. Now, most people immediately want to say, oh, hell no, man. There's no way in the world Terence Crawford can beat a guy like David Benavidez. Benavidez is too big. To that I say in the most respectful way to hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Benavidez and Crawford had the same reach. Benavidez is taller. But this is the catch. Benavidez's dad, right, said they would come down to 168. Benavidez is saying he doesn't want to fight Bud. Could be putting some duck sauce on the fried rice. But if he were to fight Crawford and agree to 168, well, now shit gets interesting because now Benavidez would be severely dehydrated. It would basically be like Canelo against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Remember how Canelo weight drained the shit out of Chavez Jr.? But this is what else makes it interesting. Caleb Plant fought Benavidez, and Benavidez was working with Angel Heredia. That's how Benavidez got so shredded and had that expanded gas tank. But he wasn't able to stop the one-handed Caleb Plant. Now, when I say Caleb Plant's one-handed, he's naturally left-handed, but he fights orthodox. If you take away his left hand, he has nothing. Jab, hook, uppercut, everything he throws, for the most part, you watch, he's left-hand dominant. The right hand is nothing. It's just there. But Caleb Plant, who I don't think has a better IQ than Crawford, and he's a one-arm fighter, he got to the finish line. Crawford has two arms. Crawford, I think, has a better IQ. And then as far as the physicality, it may not really matter because if Benavidez comes down to 168, that expanded gas tank may not be what it was when David Benavidez fought Caleb Plant. And that would give Bud a huge, I think, advantage. In addition to Bud just being able to box his ass off with power and being in great shape. So for all y'all sleeping on Terence Crawford saying there's no way in the world he beats David Benavidez, I say there's a good chance he beats him. But I do think David Benavidez would have to come down to 168 because in doing so, he becomes severely dehydrated. Your brain shrinks when you're dehydrated, in case you guys didn't know that, and he'd be more susceptible to a concussion. So Crawford could end up knocking his ass out.